Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name is Nicole and I'm a recovering addict and my sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. Before we get into this video, if y'all don't mind, do me a solid and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. That way you will be made aware of every single time I go live. For those of you that are new to the channel, I go live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time and on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you can catch me here every day, Monday through Friday. I hope that helps you guys out a lot. For those of you guys that are interested in joining my Patreon, we are starting Codependent No More on Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's only $2 a month, so I will link my Patreon down below also. So the other day I had gotten on here and I was asking everybody, hey y'all, what do you guys want me to talk about in a video? I'm going to pre-record some videos or make some videos, and I was trying to get some ideas. And a lot of you guys do not know my story. You have come here and you are overwhelmed by the amount of videos on my channel, which, listen, I understand there's over 1,000, and you don't know that I have a 4-part series with my story on it, which is literally 4 hours long, so even that can be overwhelming. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to keep this video at about 10 to 15 minutes and share with you guys the basics of my story and how I got to where I am today. So here we go. First of all, my name is Nicole, and it was Nicole DeMayo. I was born in Long Island, New York, to Mark and Gina DeMayo. My parents both met in the Air Force. My mother's from California. My dad is from New York, born and raised. My mom's Mexican and my dad is Italian. My mom was so Mexican that she had to learn how to speak English because Spanish was her first language. I only lived in New York till I was about 3, and then we moved to Arkansas. The reason we moved to Arkansas was because both of my parents were stationed to Jacksonville Air Force Base, and they were trying to think of a nice, quiet place to raise a family, and they chose Arkansas. And so we came down here and we started a family. And then came my 2 sisters. I'm the oldest of 3 girls, and I have a sister named Michelle. She's my middle sister, and a baby sister named Christine. So it's the 3 Musketeers, the 3 amigos, the 3 blind mice. We were always known as the DeMayo sisters, triple D's, baby. And we were together all the time, especially when we were younger. Growing up, I had a great childhood. Like I said, my mom and dad are still married to this day. I had a fun time. Me and my sisters, we would spend so much time together, and we would play, and we would do forts, and we would go outside, and we had this like tall grass field out behind our house that we would go act like we were in the jungle and go on expeditions out there, and then we would come back at like 7 o'clock at night with ticks all over us, and my mom would have to throw us in the bath. We were wild children, but everything was good when we were growing up and we were younger. I do remember as a young girl struggling at school because I felt like I didn't fit in. The reason I felt like that is there's some truth to it. My mom raised me and my sisters as Pentecostal when we were younger, so we couldn't cut our hair, we couldn't wear makeup, we couldn't wear earrings, we couldn't wear pants or shorts, we had to wear dresses and skirts. And so probably from kindergarten to like 4th grade, I was wearing dresses and skirts, and so I felt like I didn't fit in. You know, I also kind of got teased about my skin color because I was probably one of 3 Mexican kids in the whole school. So as you can probably guess, living in Arkansas, there wasn't a lot of diversity in the town that I grew up in. It was a smaller town. It's not like the town I live in now in Little Rock where there's a lot of diversity. So I was different, you know, and I realized that, and people made sure I knew it. So that affected me, you know. It made me second guess myself a lot. As I grew older and I moved forward in my life, especially in school, my dad made sure that we all joined extracurricular activities, basketball, soccer, fast pitch softball. Hold on, my dog's barking. Fast pitch softball. Let me think. Cheerleading, dance, the band. I did it all. Now, at that time, my sister, Michelle, started doing fast pitch softball with me. And so me and my sister, we were like fucking good, y'all, at fast pitch softball. We went to like different competitions, and our team was like, we were winning, and it was really awesome. And that's the last time I can remember my sister really taking part in anything extracurricular. After about the age of 14, my sister Michelle, my middle sister, started struggling with bipolar disorder. But my family didn't know what it was. My sister became really hard to deal with. She would run away from home. She would have boyfriends sneak into the house. Just a lot of chaos and rebellion, okay? Well, when my sister started rebelling, my parents' focus was really on taking care of her. So I was about 16 or 17, and I started dating a guy, and then I started slipping through the cracks also. And I first tried weed when I was 17. Shortly after that, I did cocaine, and then I was doing methamphetamine. And so by the time I was 18 years old and graduated high school, I was a full-blown meth addict. I was smoking and snorting methamphetamine on a daily basis. And once I got out of high school, I would buy my own meth. I would trade things for meth. I had people come up to my jobs, and I would give them merchandise out of the stores for meth. Like, it didn't take long for my addiction to fully have a hold of me. Like, I was 18 years old and strung out. By the time I was 21, I had a job working for the state of Arkansas, and I was doing a really good job. I was getting people's driver license, IDs, car, tags, everything like that, you guys. It was a really, really good job. And I worked there for 6 years, and I met this guy named LD. Me and LD were together for about 5 or 6 years, and the first 2 years of it was okay, but after that, he started beating me. And when I tell you beating me, I mean beating me. Okay, I mean putting me in the hospital. Now, this is a toxic relationship. We were both strung out on drugs, opiates, benzos, methamphetamine, cocaine. But at this time, the main drugs that I was abusing were meth and opiates. For some reason, opiates and methamphetamine have always like really played close together in my life, because what would happen with me, you guys, is I would get real strung out on opiates, and I'd be real down, and I would want to function, and so I would do meth to wake up again. And I did that all the time. I was on a constant roller coaster ride of up and down, up and down. Now, I want you guys to realize I'm leaving a lot of stuff out, but if you want to hear the whole story in detail, I'm going to link down below the playlist with my 4-part series in it. Me and LD broke up, and I said, fuck this, I don't need no man, I'm going to stay out on my own. And I went off the deep end, started shooting dope, smoking crack, and I was like 26, okay? I started going in and out of treatment centers. I've been to 5 rehabs. Then 6 months after I started injecting methamphetamine, I was pulled over by the police, and I caught my first and only felony charge, Class C felony, possession of a controlled substance. And I remember the day I got that felony, you guys. I mean, that was a wake-up call, but it wasn't enough, you know? So I got put on probation. I failed every single drug test. My probation officer sent me to rehab, still failed drug tests, and then she revoked my probation and sent me to prison. I did a year in prison here in Arkansas, the Arkansas Department of Corrections. My ADC number was 754077. And man, I'm telling you what, I thought it was going to be so scary, but prison wasn't nothing but a thing. And when I got out, I wanted to stay sober. So what I did was I paroled out to a halfway house. I got a sponsor, and I started going to AA. Now, you guys, I had always been trying to go in and out of AA and Narcotics Anonymous, but I just had never really stuck with it until this time. This time I got a sponsor, and I started working the steps, and I started really getting involved. I became the secretary of my home group, and I was doing the damn thing. I got a job. I got promoted to assistant deli manager. I went on trips with my job to build other Kroger stores. Like, I was killing it. Well, lo and behold, all that hours. Here's the thing with me, you guys. If I don't have balance in my life and my recovery isn't like at the forefront, and then the other parts of my life are balanced, I lose control. And so at that time, I let my job really take over, and I wasn't spending any time on my recovery. And honestly, I wanted to get high. I still had the reservation that one day I could get high and be okay. And see, now I know that is not true, and I know I can never use again. But back then, I still had that little voice in the side of me that said, girl, you can get high one more time. You'll make it back. Nobody will know. And I really believed that. Well, I got high and I didn't come back. And I didn't get sober until 2015. So that was in 2010. So from 2010 to 2015, I was running the streets. 2012, I met my husband. I said, come on, baby, come run the streets with me. Not really. I met my husband and I said, damn, he's fine. And I just have a thing for redheads, you guys. I don't know if I've told you all that. I've dated 3 guys with red hair, and I've loved every one of them so much. They're so cute to me. But Neil is my favorite, of course. But we met, and I didn't realize he had an addiction like I did. But once I did realize it, I was just like, we were star-crossed lovers. We were Romeo and Juliet. We were meant to be. And you guys, that's exactly what our relationship was like. My husband was getting sent in and out of treatment because his family was like done, you know? And so he would go into treatment and we would cry and we would, don't go. And I would write him letters. He would write me letters, and then he would bust out of the rehab. And it was just like, it's such nonsense, you guys. And he's in rehab and I'm out here selling his methadone script, making money while he's gone in treatment. Like, it was a hot mess. In 2013, we got pregnant, and I gave birth to my son in July 4th of 2014. During my pregnancy, I used methamphetamine and opiates, and I gave birth to my son, and a miracle of God was performed because he came out perfect with nothing in his system. I will never understand why God spared me that day, but he spared me and he allowed me to have my son. I went home with my son and I had him for a year before my best friend called Child Protective Services on me. And that's the day, 1 year to the day my son was born, he was taken from me. July 4th is when he was born. I had to hand him over July 2nd, 2015 to CPS. And that day is when I entered treatment. And really the rest is history. I entered treatment. I fucked around a little bit in treatment, was trying to get high still, but once I realized it was game on, I got my act together and I got on Suboxone, and I've been sober ever since. 5 years, baby. So I got my son back. I worked my ass off to get him back, and I got him back in 10 months, and I have not looked back since, and I never will. I will never put my son through that torture ever again. So, excuse me, that is a summary of my story. I'm going to link this whole story down below, and any of you guys that have any other video requests, please comment down below and let me know what you want to hear about, and I will go into detail. I will make a special video just for you, so don't hesitate to put it down below. And I'll see you guys tonight. Tonight's Wednesday, so we'll be on at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Love you guys.